Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Good morning. Welcome on in. It's Halicue from your absolutely. I just want to make sure we're live. Are we live? We are live, aren't we? Are we live? Are we live? Is this thing on? Hey, everybody. Hey, y'all. Welcome. Come on in. It's Halicue from Hey, it's Halicue, my podcast. I am the creator and the host of the Hey, it's Halicue podcast. It is the first podcast created by Black women of the 92% for Black women of 92%. Who is that? Who have we got in here already coming in with the hearts? Already coming in with the energy. Thank you all so much. Come on in. Welcome. Are you all ready to rebuke and reclaim? I decided that I needed something special from Monday mornings for myself and to share with my community. And that, especially when you're a content creator and you have to be watching the news. And that's tough for Black women. Oh my gosh, thank you all so much for the hearts. Oh my gosh, y'all have already got us up to like almost 300 hearts. Like, thank you so much. Welcome. I am so happy to be here live with you all on like a morning, because it's still morning here in California. And I want you to know it doesn't matter where you're coming in from, and let me know where you're coming in from. Please, please, please let me know where you are, what's going on. We're going to start with a little gratitude, and we're going to get into some rebuking and some reclaiming, because sometimes, especially as Black women, as content creators, corporate baddies, sometimes we have to leave last week in last week. I was inspired and reminded to do this because I wanted to connect with my little honey bun. Like I've got two daughters. My youngest is still at home. My little scary Scorpio, and I realized like I didn't even get to see that much of you this weekend. You were working, and then you got your little social life. You got your homeworks, and I just wanted to let her know like sometimes when we have like a bad week or something we want to leave in the past, like let's remember that from Monday. We don't have to go dragging the same stuff into the next week. So that goes for all members of the 92%, even if you're 92% in training, right? Because we still got some students like out there, but that are still right-minded, that are still Black women of the 92% mindset. We have some accomplices out there. And so when I shared that and I did that with my little honey bunny, I was like, let me always remember whatever I'm doing as a Black woman and giving out, whatever it is I'm sending out, may I also be bringing in for myself, right? Because that's what the 92% is all about. Oh, lost it. Do we have another podcast in the house? Do we have another podcast in the house? Welcome. It says the Lost in Translation podcast. I just want to welcome you. Thank you. And thank you for liking and thank you for sharing out. Y'all have us almost to like 100, like, oh my gosh, almost to 1,000 hearts already. And thank you. And I love the hearts and I appreciate the hearts, because what that is an energetic exchange. And it's basically showing our platforms we are having a wonderful conversation and an engaging conversation and an active conversation. And we're especially blessed with that because what are we talking about here? We're talking about Black women of the 92%. Everything on this channel is about that for us, all right? And keeping ourselves fed, keeping ourselves reinvesting in ourselves, experiencing joy, being creative, all of these things that awful portal that the presidential election of 2024 opened up. Black women in that election showed up in overwhelming numbers. That's where our name comes from, the 92%. 90, like we showed up the strongest for democracy. We had one of our beautiful, brilliant own running. But more than any other group, Black women showed up for democracy, for progress, for equity. We showed up and we have the numbers to prove it. That's where the 92% comes from. But I always like to remind us, and I talk about this in the podcast every week. We have a new episode coming up. It's about riding the storm because Black women are the storm riders. Oh, hey, thank you. Hey, Lane July. Hello, are you coming in bearing gifts? Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm a Leo. We love gifts. We love to be generous and we love to receive. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our rebuking and reclaiming. We're going to be talking about some of the things that we're rebuking and we are leaving it last week. And we are saying goodbye to. We're going to go over the lessons we learned from them. Some of them are stories from politics. Some of them are from pop culture. They may all be from pop culture this week, that we talked about, that we discussed. I went live with my sister last night to talk about some of these topics because they were just, they were in the news. They were in the zeitgeist, and they were especially in Black news, in Black thought, in Black conversation, among Black women. And so we're going to talk about what we're leaving behind, the lessons we learned from it, and getting ourselves ready to reclaim our power, our energy, our enthusiasm, our happiness, our joy, our creativity, our productivity for the new week. That's something we need to do on Monday. And I may have a little something special for us. Y'all know I like to use little tools in getting myself together for the week. And I got a few decks that I really love that are empowering and beautiful. And depending on us meeting our goals this morning, right up there. And thank you all for coming in, for getting the heart started, for sharing out the live. Go up and get your little daily heart me. It's like a beautiful black girl multivitamin. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. Follow example. You see, I appreciate that. I appreciate people taking the initiative and going ahead and getting things started. And y'all, let's just get started with a little bit of gratitude. And again, I'm Halicue. I'm Halicue of the Hey, It's Halicue podcast. It is available any place you listen to podcasts. There's even a special video version for those of you that like to listen to my face over on the tube. That is you. So y'all go on over, get into that. Good morning. Good morning and welcome in. This is our very first ever Rebuke and Reclaim Monday. Okay. It is here with the 92%. If you consider yourself Black woman of the 92%, or one of our accomplices, because we don't need allies, we need accomplices. So if you consider yourself one of those things, come on in, get welcome. We are here to cleanse, to center, and to crown ourselves for the week ahead. Okay. Somebody's got to do it. All right. And if Black women can't do it for each other, I don't know where else we're going to do it. So that is what we are here to do. We are not carrying anyone else's baggage into our new week. We are not dragging dead narratives behind us. And we are certainly not dimming our light to comfort the insecure. If there's anything we can learn from the NFL draft this weekend, and when I tell y'all what I don't know about American football, could fill several books. It is not my wheelhouse, but I am a Black girl from Mississippi, and I am the mother of athletes. My girls are soccer players, so I know the world of competitive athletics. Very different, though. Thank you for coming on and getting your daily heart me. That makes me so happy when y'all come on and do that. Thank you so much. And come on in and say good morning and tell us where you're from. Oh, hey, guiding light. Thank you for the roses. Come on in. This is our Rebuke and Reclaim Monday. We are letting go of some things. But the last thing I was saying was about how what we're not going to do this week is let anyone dim us or dim our. Do you have people from Girl, where is Belzoni, Mississippi? I'm from Hattiesburg myself. Oh my gosh. And the second my sister sees Sinners, I'm going to come on here and we're going to talk about Sinners, and I'm going to give you all my deepest review. And I really want to hear from people from Mississippi that saw the movie. Find a way to get in touch with me. I don't care where you get in touch with me. All you have to do is type in Halicue, Halicue, and you will see me anywhere that I am on Beyonce's internet. Oh my gosh. And speaking of Beyonce, happy Cowboy Carter Day. It is my understanding that the tour starts today. Am I correct with that? Y'all let me know if I'm correct. Your girl does not have tickets yet. I was talking to my sister about that last night. I don't know how in the world I don't have tickets, but it's one of those things. I saw Sinners on Friday. I saw it my husband took me to see it on Friday too. Can I just say, as a Black girl from Mississippi, as a Black woman from Mississippi whose people are still, I do not have my white cowboy hat, but I will be assembling my outfit all year. That is the plan. I'm going to be assembling because y'all, I gotta be honest, I'm not that kind of Black girl from Mississippi. Like my people, we never do a whole lot of trail rides and stuff. Like my parents have horses like out because down south, we're able to live on compounds and stuff. You can basically, if you want to live on your own small farm in Mississippi, you can do it. So we have an enclosure and Ginger the horse, if we still even have Ginger. But like I'm the oldest of 6. Like, and when I was coming up, we didn't have it like that, the way my mom has now, where we can have a house with horses like in the front. We didn't have it like that. It was very different. My mom was like a single, for a little while after the very awful divorce, she was a single working mom. So we didn't have it all like that. So I'm not really a cowgirl. Like I love our cowgirl. I love that cowgirl, but I'm not a cowgirl like that for real. Like Beyonce probably grew up going to like actual rodeos and stuff. Like I did not. But I am 100% here. And Beyonce taught me something so deep. Do you know it took Beyonce teaching me that country music comes from the blues? I knew everything came from the blues and everything came from Mississippi down at the crossroads. Y'all, and speaking of Sinners, I've gotten way off track, but these are things, we're talking about what we want to bring in, and Sinners has so many beautiful, beautiful messages. And it just really had me in my Black girl from Mississippi. Like, I live in Northern California now, which is why I also feel so close to the movie. It's so wonderful that Ryan Coogler, I knew things about him, but I didn't know his people, he had people from Mississippi, right? Like, I didn't know that. I mean, I knew California was a part of the great diaspora, like where during the time that this was set, people started trying to escape the sharecropping. I grew up, not I grew up. I was born in the Delta. I was born in the Delta outside of Sidon Plantation, Sidon, which was a cotton plant, like which is an actual cotton plantation. I was born in LaFleur County Hospital. My dad lived in Clarksdale for a while. One of my favorite pictures of me and my little sister is us in our best in our little JC Penney fall outfit, because your parents would buy your stuff from JC Penney's or Sears when I was growing up. Like I'm Gen X, and our cute little outfit. I had my little kulak, my little vest outfit on, and it was me and my little sister in front of the cotton field. So I just feel like Ryan Coogler, like, I don't know, it was almost like a love letter to Mississippi. I like you know what a genius you have to be to make like sharecropping plantation era Mississippi beautiful. Like, so it was just so wonderful. So I'm so full of, he did that. He did. Didn't he, Lost in Translation? Didn't he? Didn't he? Like, yes, the Delta Blues gave birth to so much music, but I didn't know it gave birth to country. Y'all growing up in Mississippi, like in the 70s and the 80s, like country music, you would never hear a lot of Black country artists. Lost in Translation podcast. I'm not Mississippi, but my family's from Indianola. Oh, Indianola. I had a professor at the Harvard Extension School from Indianola, Mississippi, and he looked just like a white man from Indianola, Mississippi. And that man he's probably one of the first people to make me feel like he took such, and y'all, when I tell you he had a redneck look to him, like that white skin with freckles and like red hair. He was a very handsome man, but he was kind of scary, but he took so much time with my work. Yes, we built all of this, but it took Beyonce, because I remember thinking when the Cowboy Carter album came out, when it came out, I remember thinking, Beyonce girl, I'll follow you anywhere. I don't know about this country music. I really don't know, because like country music in Mississippi, everything you'd hear on the radio, it was not like Black country music. It was not like it was not Charlie Pride. It was not these things. To me, it always felt very scary. But when I started doing the research and you found out Rhiannon Giddens was like on the album, and then I read about her and the banjo, and then I remember that I read Roots, and I remember when I was a girl reading that the banjo and the guitar came from an instrument that came from Africa and came over with our enslaved ancestors. Like, so, and so I was like, let me just press play on this album and see what Beyonce's got to say. Oh my God. And when it was between Blackbird and by the time we got to Alligator Tears, like I was bawling, and I was like, and she explained that yes, this comes out of blues music. It comes out of our sorrow. Ooh, Lost in Translation says, I played blues during the week and church music on Sunday. It was my movie. Yes, like everything about it, and how you were, I'll never forget, like one of my first African American history classes I took at Dartmouth. One of them was a music class, and us learning about how there was this battle between blues music and juke joints, and wanting to, get out and enjoy ourselves, just ran up against like, church, and especially those of us that kind of grew up with like Black respectability politics, and around like there was always this, we sacrifice pleasure and enjoying ourselves in a secular way for spirituality, for the church, for exemplifying this certain type of like Black womanhood and Black virtuous womanhood. Oh my goodness! And so I'm deconstructing from the church. I consider myself, I practice an African American spiritual tradition that is very ancestral, and I have evolved in that way. And so the way they saw we did both of that in the movie, and we get to have all this conversation about reclaiming our power and our ancestry as like Black women. This movie had everything. It had tragic mulat, like it had it had everything. Oh my gosh. So I felt like I was fed so much, but y'all, in terms of rebuking and reclaiming. And so one of the things that I'm reclaiming, I have always claimed Mississippi, but I've even had people here that know me, they're shocked that I claim Mississippi. And I'm like, how am I not going to claim Mississippi? My like Mississippi is so for those of us from Mississippi, it is so deep in your blood. I bet you, and if you're on here and you're from Mississippi, tell me. And Annie started talking about hates. And my husband was like, why? Like, I got to explain to my husband real quick. I was like, baby, you remember what Hank Blue is, right? He's like, "Hun, do I have to remember it right now?" I was like, "Yeah, baby, you gotta remember it right now. You gotta remember it right now because it's gonna be like a big part of the movie, the colors, the because there's magic in color, there's magic in blue and the red and what that means, and duality. The fact that we had smoke and stack, like, oh my goodness. Anyway, it was just so wonderful. And yet, yeah, you find the color. Hi, hello. Come on in. Welcome. We are rebuking and reclaiming. So one of the things I'm reclaiming is my deep love and my connection to Mississippi. Because y'all, I'll probably be back in Mississippi before the summer's over. I don't get to go home very often, but I literally can't go more than a year without going home or connecting with my people because Mississippi calls to you. Our ancestors' sweat and blood is in the soil. It literally calls me home. And if I don't make plans to get home, I start having dreams. I start dreaming about my grandparents, the ancestors. I start smelling things. I start smelling the rain, the way the rain smells, or a storm smells when it's on its way and I have to get back home. We have never have to live in that stark black and white world. Yes, never. We're never, and that's something about where I live now that drives me insane. Everybody wants to look the same. In Northern California, it's different in Southern California, but in Northern California, everybody's trying to look the same. They all trying to wear the same stuff. My husband needed some stuff, and he has this running membership where we go to the store that sells Columbia and prana and some other things, and it's like you get these kind of like, reduced prices for this really great stuff. So I was like, he needs some stuff. The second we walked in, I was ready to walk right back out. I was like, it's like as though everything is trying to make everybody look the same, and that drives me crazy. Ooh, U.S. Army Overlord says, my mother is from Clarksdale, Mississippi. Yes, and Clarksdale representing. There were so many details. Did you notice the hot tamale? Like the little sign, like advertising hot tamales, like that's a real thing. Like look that up, like hot tamales in Delta. She says her mother is from Clarksdale, Mississippi. She was born exactly during that time. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like when Annie started talking about, yes, 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 yes. It was absolutely amazing. So I am so grateful for, and one of the things I'm reclaiming is my roots in Mississippi. It doesn't matter where I travel all over the world, and I'm a world traveler. I think I've been to 73 countries after spring break. 73. Don't nothing call me or pull me back home like Mississippi does. Nothing makes a claim on my soul the way me being born in the Delta. I was born in Greenwood, Mississippi. So I was born in Greenwood, which is up in the Delta. Now, apparently, my mom hated the Delta and was miserable there when I was born. And that's why we ended up going to Hattiesburg, which is where my parents came. My dad was a lawyer. He was one of the first Black law students to graduate from Ole Miss. He met my mom, who was a student at University of Southern Mississippi. My mom says on a recruiting trip. And let me check these messages, y'all. Oh, who else is also? I'm from Grenada, Mississippi. Right on. Hey, Joyce. Welcome. Welcome, y'all. And let me reintroduce myself to especially to Joyce and to my home folks. I actually have home people here from Mississippi. Y'all will never know the joy of having your community, your online community. First of all, being Black women. I'm blessed in that way. And making content for and being a content creator and a thought leader for Black women. I working, and I consider it work. This is my work and my labor of love for Black women and for us as Black women of the 92%. Ooh, Baby Bird just came on. Is that an AKA I detect with that pink and green? Oh, and it's also south of Clarksdale. Oh, Lane July says she has family in Greenwood. So the two blessings are making content for Black women of the 92%. Thank you, y'all, and come on in. And thank you for going up there, getting your little daily heart me. It's really kind of like saying good morning to the host of the live. Like it really is like saying, hey, I'm happy to be here. Saying good morning to everybody in the comments, getting those hearts started. Oh my gosh, I'll already have us to 4,000 hearts. Like, and y'all, and if we if we get the goal today, I have a little morning reading for us that I would love to share from some of my favorite decks, two of which are created by Black women and Black creators. So if we get those goals going, y'all, we get to have that for our Monday. But there are some things that we are reclaiming and some things that we are rebuking from the last week. Just to reintroduce myself, I'm Halicue Hannah. I am from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I claim Mississippi. We're going to be talking about Mississippi hoodoo, our culture, the diaspora. That movie is going to have Black people talking about that all year. So I hope everybody's Aaron. Hey, oh, and thank you, Aaron, for your beautiful rose. Thank you. Y'all come in bearing gifts. It just made me so happy. Thank you so much. So we're gonna be talking about that all over the internet, but absolutely on all my channels. And this is a special offering I wanted to do for us on Monday, a special live I wanted to do because there's some stuff I wanted to leave behind after we've talked about it. There's some stuff it's great for us to get on our platforms and the zeitgeist. We need more Black women and more Black women of the 92% talking on the internet. And so we had a lot of stuff to jaw about last week, but there's some things we want to there's some things we want to rebuke. My name is Halicue. I am the creator of the Hey It's Halicue podcast. You can listen to it any place you love listening to podcasts. It is on Spotify. It lives on Substack, which is where I also write some beautiful posts, and I also go live to Substack. We have a wonderful community there. It's not just a podcast over on Substack. It's actually a community of Black women in the 92%. Please, please, please go on over and if you want to know how to get there, just go to my profile, tap on my face, and you'll see the thing that takes you right there. We're also on YouTube. You can listen to the podcast on YouTube Music, and on my YouTube channel, there is if you'd like to listen to my face, there is a special video version of the podcast that I put up there because there are those of us that like to have a little visual. And I'm a triple Leo, Sun, Mercury, Mars. So I will always give you a visual. If you all want to see me and us connect that way, I'm always happy to do that. But it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The new episode is coming out on Thursday, and it's about writing out the storm. And I was just thinking this morning as I wanted to connect with my own daughter who's driving now. I wanted to remind her that we get to leave things behind in the old, in the day before, the hour before, if we want to, and create our new reality. And so sometimes in order to do that, we got to let some stuff go. And there were some conversations that it was very, very, very good for us to have, but we're going to give them a little kiss goodbye, learn our lesson from it, and move on to what we want to reclaim. So we rebuke because what we're not going to do is allow mess to make a home in our spirit. Right? Like people have done that with Black women for so long. I was just reading over on Substack this great article that somebody wrote about anxiety being a specific ancestor to Black women, a specific ancestral energy for Black women. And like Doechii writes about it, and that's where her song comes from. And she talks about how when Doechii like wrote the song. And so anxiety, we can't let anxiety live in our spirit because of the way we were dragged over here from West Africa, like our enslaved ancestors were dragged over here. The anxiety of that, of slavery, that lives in a lot of us still. And I personally think that Black women, and especially the 92%, we are in a particularly wonderful situation to release that now. By us saying that we're taking a break, we are backing up, we are focusing on ourselves, we are resting, we're prioritizing ourselves, we're reinvesting in ourselves, we're getting healthy physically, spiritually, emotionally. This is a wonderful time for Black women to do this and to release that spirit of anxiety. So that is a lot about what we're doing. And so what we're not going to do is, again, to allow mess to make a home in our spirit. So many people, and indeed, if not this entire country, has made it a practice to make sure that Black women are always anxious and stressed out. Because when we're anxious and stressed out, there's no room for joy. There's no room for happiness. Because when we are joyful, when we're at our highest octave, we're very powerful. And women, people don't want us like that. Thank you. Oh, for la rosa. Thank you. People don't want us like that. So that's why we're rebuking. And one of the things we're rebuking is the Dear Future. One of the things we're rebuking, I'm a little tongue tied. One of the things that we are rebuking is the Dear Future Wifey podcast and this tired idea that Black women, because we talked about this all last week. Y'all remember that couple, this pastors, and they were being interviewed by another podcast. And I love podcasters in general. I do not, I never shade pod. I never shading podcasters. But the conversation we had last week was very exhausting. And it was going over this very tired idea that Black women have to inhale suffering, gaslighting, self erasure just to earn the title of wife, just for some title that doesn't deliver us, that doesn't thank you for coming on again and getting your daily heart me. And thank you. Oh my gosh, y'all, get us to 5,000 little hearts. Just as a little thank. I'm just going to ask, just thank you for getting us up there, getting those hearts going. Okay, so we're not going to do that anymore. And it was good that we had the conversation. Right? It was good conversation to have. Thank you all for the likes. Oh, somebody said that's because they don't understand the power of women. They really don't. If more people understood the power of women and listen to Black women who actually are, I'm talking about this in the podcast this week, the Hey It's Halicue podcast. Y'all go listen to it. Come join our community over on Substack. You're going to absolutely love it. I'm building a beautiful community of Black women of the 92% over there where we can be creative, joyful, productive, encouraging, supporting, and where we can really tap into the collective conscious. So get on over there to Substack and enjoy the podcast over there and wherever you like to listen to podcasts. But we do not have to suffer our way to love. Okay. All Black women have to do is just be in our full selves and just exist. And for the first time, it's one of the reasons I personally feel that this portal that Kamala's loss opened up for Black women, because y'all, it did open up a portal. We tapped into our collective consciousness as Black women. Somebody said here on TikTok last week, like, what do you call that thing where Black women, where we're just tapped into each other, where I was like, we call it the collective consciousness of Black women. That's exactly what happened when Kamala lost. We needed a disappointment. And so many of us had steeled ourselves. Aaron, thank you. Little puppy heart. Thank you. Thank you. I love a little puppy heart. Thank you. One of the ways that there's my girl Q. Y'all please follow Q. Q was the inspiration literally for one of my last podcast episodes, and she's the inspiration for one more. I don't even know if she knows it yet. She's this brilliant data queen and tastemaker. I think she's very busy with the Dallas Film Festival right now. Is that what's going on? Q, I think I saw. Please follow her. But we do not have to suffer our way to love. We exist our way into love. So we learned our lesson, right? We had that conversation about the Dear Future Wifey podcast. We had lots of conversations about that. What are some of the things and some of the takeaways we took from it? First of all, some of us are in relationships with people that hate us. Black women are so spiritual, powerful. That's why you tried to use us to birth a workforce, because we in and of our essence are just abundant and creators and our vibes and are beautiful and are all of these things, and it's one of the reasons I'm like, yeah, they really do need to try to keep us mentally chained and enslaved, because heaven only knows what happens when we're happy, when we're joyful, when we're tapped into our power, when we're tapped into the conscious. So we're letting that go. We had plenty of conversation about that, but what did we learn? We learned to let that go. And it's a real late 80s, 90s way of Black women thinking. It really is. Some of us are caught in time warps of that time when all we were taught was there are not enough Black men and you have to twist, cramp, shrink yourself. Another thing it taught us is stop bringing the creator into everything. The creator didn't have nothing to do with that. None of that. The creator does not call us as Black women, however we connect to the divine, whether our spiritual system teaches us to focus on connecting to the divine within, or trying to, thinking of the creator as like something different, call something different. The creator does not call us to humiliate ourselves. I'm sorry. I think as the Black women, we are tapped into our spirituality. We know the creator is not calling us to humiliate ourselves, to humble ourselves, to walk through life on our knees for the title of being some piece of man's wife. Yeah, no, that's not what we're called to do. And I think after that conversation, we all get that. If there's anything Black women are able to do, thank you, y'all, for coming on in and getting your little daily heart me. And I don't want to ask for too much, but since y'all already have us to 5,000 hearts, if we could keep that energy going again. And the reason I want us to do it is because it lets all the platforms that I'm coming to you on know that we are having a beautiful and a wonderful conversation. So thank you in advance for that. And y'all would not believe the setup that I have going on. You would not believe the setup that I got going on in here. So forgive me for going back and forth and switching with all the dials because we're going live in lots of lots of different ways and places. So thank you for that. But if we just get to 10 like really quick, that would be wonderful. And I would love to, and if we reach our goal, I would love to do a little reading for us. I have 3 of my favorite decks over here for us to give us a little inspiration for the week. If we get there, that's wonderful. If not, that's okay too. But that's one of the things. So we're saying goodbye to that conversation with the dear future wifey. What do we learn? We are inherently valuable. We are too beautiful and bountiful to be attached to someone that hates us for the title of wife. And I'm a beloved wife of 30 years, almost 30 years. It'll be 30 years in November. This life ain't for everybody. And the creator does not want you to be unhappy. I'm telling you that right now. And things have evolved even from when I was young and I got married. Y'all know my daughter just figured out that I got married at like 22, 23. And she was like, wait, she started adding stuff up on vacation. She's 21. She started adding stuff up. She goes, Mommy, that means you and Daddy what? I was like, your father and I met freshman year. We started dating sophomore year. She's like, but I was like, what did you think? She goes, I thought, and I was like, yeah, sweetie, well, we waited like years to have you. But she's like, and I was like, yeah, baby, people don't do things like that anymore. That's weird. There's lots of things about mommy and daddy's relationship I would love for you to emulate, but yeah, ain't no rush. There are lots of other options. You ain't got to be partnered up with nobody. You ain't got to be married. You ain't got to have children. I don't care if you ever get married, but if you partner with somebody, they got to be a winner. And when I say a winner, that means they have to love you and uplift you. I love them only as much as they treat you like a queen. I don't care who they are, what they look like, where they come from. As long as you are elevated and uplifted and they are taking care of you in every way, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. That's all I care about. Options. That's what's powerful. That's what's sexy, especially for us as Black women of the 92%, having options. And so we know that whole dear future wifey and those pastors and that church and what they teach, that's an old way of doing things. Black women of the 92% are moving into the now. So we rebuke that and we reclaim our sovereignty. We reclaim knowing our inherent value and virtue. And we're stepping out of that the way we step out of dirty clothes and dirty drawers and socks and stinky workout stuff. And we leave that behind and we get that and we step out of it and away from it and we cleanse and refresh and we start the week new. And that is what we're doing right here, right now with rebuke and reclaim. So that's one of the things we're rebuking. What else are we rebuking? And welcome to everybody that's new to the live. Welcome. Come on in. Thank you I welcome you. Seriously. Welcome. Come on in. Good morning. Okay. I'm happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for letting me press buttons. Thank you for letting me do this. And thank you all so much for the hearts. Oh my God, y'all really are going to get us to 10,000 hearts. Thank you so much. This is Rebuke and Reclaim. This is a new offering that I am offering to my beloved community of the beautiful, Black, bold, brilliant women of the 92%. Thank you. Oh, I love that stamp. Who just gave me that stamp? Who just did that? Thank you. I love that stamp because I feel like y'all are literally kissing me on the cheek. And I'm a Leo, and I love, thank you, Misty. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Y'all get us to our goals so I can do a little blessing for the week from one of my favorite decks. I would love that so much. So what else are we rebuking this week? And by the way, I'm Halicue. I am a thought leader and I'm a content creator for Black women of the 92%. Welcome to my space. Welcome to my space and my channel here on Beyonce's Internet. Happy Cowboy Carter Day. Happy Monday. We are rebuking stories and old messages from the past, this past week, in order to make new space for what we're, hey, Bree, hello, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. I am here for Black women of the 92% and our accomplices. Welcome. The name of my podcast is the Hey, It's Halicue podcast. It is the first and only podcast for Black women of the 92% by a Black woman of the 92%. Okay. And don't let the pale cast fool you. Okay. It's winter and we just coming out of rainy season. So y'all give me a minute to get back. Y'all give me a minute to get back in the sun. I've also been in Europe for the past month. It was cold and drizzly the whole time there, except in London, which was beautiful, but it was like London beautiful. You can't get no rays or no sun for real, like in London, even when it's its most beautiful. So y'all give me a minute to bake in this California sunshine, and we'll be looking a little bit more Leo, golden brown Leo like. But we are rebuking and reclaiming this week. And what else are we rebuking? Oh, thank you. I love the battery. I love it. Y'all, we're gonna get our goal. I can feel it. I can feel it. Thank you all in advance for getting us to our goal. Let me check out. Oh, thank you. Oh, Curve, you love me being here for us. Absolutely. This is my job. I work for Black women at 92%. Oh, Bree, thank you so much. You said, let the sun season you. Yes. That was another wonderful thing that another person brought up about sinners. I'll be finding an excuse to talk about sinners all the time because it involves my people, where I am from, and another beautiful thank you. Because it involves my people. Y'all know I'm a Black girl from Southern Mississippi. Almost all of my family is still there. Me and my sisters are scattered all over the place. Texas, 2 in Texas, 1 in Georgia, 1 in Denver. I'm in Northern California, but we from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. That's where we're all born. So I love that about sinners. And one of the things somebody brought up about, because I love talking about our melanin, as there was another podcast that I was on. Is that Allison? Hey, Allison, Ricky Master Allison is here. Thank you. Another Leo queen, Reiki Master Allison. Y'all follow her. She is one of my absolute faves. We became mutuals and friends back during Clubhouse days. What y'all know about Clubhouse? Y'all don't know nothing about Clubhouse. That's where a lot of us learned social media and first made these wonderful connections as Black women and Black kind of I call us intuitives or mystics, or those of us that are reclaiming ancestral traditions. That was one of the things I loved about using the allegory of vampires, because so much of racism, y'all, is energetic vampirism. So much of it. Like, I was talking to one of my sisters recently about microaggressions. All microaggressions are, especially when shot at us by white women, it's just energetic warfare. And it's an energetic warfare they are brilliant at. But they're not as brilliant as us at repelling it. Because what do they tell you in the art of war? You have to know your enemy. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Wait, are we getting very close to our goal? Are we getting there? We're getting there. Thank you so much. We're getting there. When it comes to this energetic vampirism, like, to me, that's what racism is. So because y'all, I don't even do horror. Like, the way my spirit is set up, like, y'all know yellow is my signature color. I'm a Leo. Yellow means something in my cultural tradition and in hoodoo and African traditional spirituality and religions. Like, it means something. So I can't do a whole lot of blood and gore and stuff. Like, it's just not something that I do. Thank you. And y'all, thank you for coming in, y'all got us past 10,000 hearts. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. I love y'all so much. Thank you for this energy that y'all give me. It's one of the reasons I love being live with my community, because I have very unique dopamine needs. And being in community with Black women at the 92% and those that rock with us just does something very, very, very special for me. But I love the idea. So another reason I love the movie and the idea of vampirism, because that's what racism is. That is just what patriarchy is. That is just what colonialism is. It is just sapping and feeding off of us. And so that's why this time, and being Black women of the 92% and this entire movement, thank you. And why this movement is so important, because it's teaching us how to protect ourselves. Those of you that have seen the movie, have seen any vampire movie, what is one of the tropes that it is important for Black people to take another look at is that we're not going to just let anybody in. It is time, and the movie taught us that as Black people, it is really time for us to take a look at who is asking to come in and be a part of our space and to question their motives. Barriers and boundaries. Yes, ma'am. Can I please pin that? I feel like I'm losing the ability to pin comments, and I don't know why. I want to pin Josie's comments. Yes, and it reminded me of a time in my life. And when Black women, I think when we become more spiritually activated, like we really get into the divinity that is within ourselves as Black women, all this stuff starts falling into place. You mess around and get some age and experience on top of that. I'll never forget this. We did this massive landscaping project years ago. It's like 6 or 7 years ago, around the time that my spiritual enlightenment was starting to happen. Lot of money put into making, because we live on a 45-degree angle in Northern California. A lot of our houses are just perched onto like these cliffs. And so the dirt is hard. It's hard to dig in. And it just wasn't very pretty. And so we put this money into it. The second we started work on on starting work on the house, all of a sudden, and when we got done, I was getting all these emails. Dear Halicue, hi, it's so and so from the PTA Mafia. We noticed you're doing all this work on your house. So and so was just walking by, and we would love if, would you please consider letting us host the blah 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 blah. And these requests just kept coming in, and people started just stopping by my house, like, oh hey Halicue, like we were just, and I remember thinking, and I was, that's when I was just starting to do work about understanding, like being extra careful about cleansing my space when my children, oh, let me see some of these. Y'all are seriously, barriers and boundaries, cookouts and bites are closed. Everybody's not invited to the club. So glad to see more women gatekeeping and in the box. Yes, girl. And and part of me, thank you all for vibing with what I'm putting down. I mean, picking up what I'm putting down. The Leo part of me, and that little traumatized little Black girl from Mississippi, a Black woman living in a very white space with my children at very white schools, just coming from London, wanting them to feel happy and accepted. Part of that was messing with me, like, well, should I? And this is just what you do. And my girls in soccer, and they do need to be able to have their teammates and friends. But then but the ancestors, Grandma Halicue over here, it's Grandma Halicue. I always keep her picture, like right here, was like, why these people want to be in your house? Why these people all of a sudden walking up to your door? Are you friends with these people? You know these people? Why they coming here now? Why they want to get inside your space? There's plenty of houses around here. There's plenty of people with much bigger houses, more expensive houses, more fancy. What's this about? Why they trying to get in here? What's that about? So that was something that I enjoyed too. And also that they burn in the sun. Our melanin is magic. It's magic. It's protective. And in a lot of ways, when we activate that, when we honor it. And how do we activate our melanin? We honor it. We honor it. We say thank you for it. We thank the ancestors for it. Especially those of us that are clinging on to it as much as we can. We get into the sun. We add to it. We darken it. We love it in our children. That's one of the reasons I feel so sorry for white biracials. Imagine being brought up by somebody that can't help you honor your Blackness, or when they see your Blackness, the sun is cleansing. One of my favorite things to talk about, when I talk about like Black women or our astrology, or if I talk about the elements and I talk about the sun is life. Yes, the sun gives life. It's why I take my archetype as a Leo so seriously. My job is to make Black women happy. My job is to rain down sunshine and love and appreciation and honor on Black women. Ooh, the Sibyls. I was just telling my daughter about the Sibyls the other day, actually. Yes. Our melanin is our gold. Yes. And the sun is cleansing. Sometimes I tell my children and I tell clients, like, yeah, sometimes the sun, and one of my favorite cards and archetypes, whether it's a tarot deck or whatever, is the sun, because it's like sometimes things need the harsh infectant of daylight. It's a difference between the sun and the moon, where the moon paints everything as silvery and romantic. Sometimes we need the harsh light of day and the sun to tell us really what's what and to clean up what's what. So I love that part about the movie, that the sun burns them, destroys them, where with us, it activates us. It activates our magic. And so I hate to follow up that wonderful conversation with what else we're rebuking, but we're leaving behind. We rebuke the spirit of Shannon Sharpe and any lingering wisdom that women of a age of wisdom Once women start getting some wisdom, learning from our life experiences around 35, because Mr. Sharp had a whole lot to say about what he felt was the bitterness of older women and that bitterness of Black women. Like, we need you. Like, you need to be dating us. You need to be dating older people. Shannon said that he wanted to date his wage, not his age. And he certainly has found out, has. And we had lots of good conversation about that. Okay. But wise women, women of a certain age, women my age, I'm 52. I consider myself a woman of wisdom. We're not bitter. No, we're just precise. We just see patterns. Okay. And I'm tired of people labeling us off top, especially Black women, like Black women of a certain age is bitter. I think it's crazy for people to like pit us against younger women, and especially younger Black women, because younger Black women are my daughter's peers. Like, I'm very serious about getting paid for my services and my time, but if there's anybody that can get anything out of me for free, it's a young woman. Seriously, it's a young woman, because I feel like if I can't be giving this advice, this wisdom, this game, to be perfectly honest to you, to like young women, what are we even doing? And I feel like by giving it to other younger women, I'm also giving it to my daughters. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? And so I have to be honest. Shannon's got a lot of things. Y'all's Uncle Shay Shay got a lot of things going on, a lot of self-hatred, a lot of strange things going on. But we are rebuking that. We rebuke the spirit of even our own men trying to label us, trying to demean us, trying to devalue what we have gained, like us being vintage. There's a reason wine. I'm a boring non-drinker. I'm what they call Cali sober. I'm not really much of a drinker because trauma and brain chemistry. It's not good for me. It's not good for me. It's not good for me. It's not good for my body. But there is some truth to wine being amazing and beautiful because it's different every single day. Every day that it ages, that it remains preserved, it tastes different. It develops different facets, different flavor profiles that are delicious and more rich and rare. All right. So we rebuke that. We rebuke that, and we're leaving that behind. And we're leaving all this strange conversation that some of our brothers want to pull us into. Kanye, seek help. Take us out the group chat, please. This is not good for us. It's something else that we have learned, that we should not dwell. I think I said this earlier. Like, we're not letting certain things take house in our heart and in our spirit. We're just not doing that no more. And we requested to get out of, so we rebuke that. Okay. Goodbye on that, Shannon. I'm sorry you messed up your money, and you messed up, and what you basically, because what he basically did, and what a lot of our men do, and we're going to get into talking about little Shadeur. We're going to talk about him because he gives me such Prince energy. I don't have boys. I have nephews. I'm the oldest of 6 daughters. I have girls. There is something about that young man that speaks to my spirit. I don't know what it is. I think it's just we'll get into that. But we rebuke the spirit of that. Okay, we're letting that go. Y'all can deal with that over there. Heal yourself, brothers. Heal. That's all we can say. We'll pray for you maybe. Um okay, like, and to any, if there are any young guns of the 92% that are listening to this, cuz there's a lot of content that's made like, "Oh, my job is nothing but old bitter Black whatever." On behalf of Black women of the 92%, um I promise on this channel to set a tone of loving protection to the young sisters that are coming up behind us. I call y'all young guns. Nothing makes Aunt Halicue happier than seeing y'all out there rumble. Seriously, I really, no one is rooting harder for you than older Black women. Seriously. So I promise on this channel, that is what the vibe and the energy is going to be over here. I promise you that. A mother, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, y'all are my daughter's friends. And I promise that anything that I put on this channel is going to be to guide you, because that's what mothers do. That's what we do. We guide, we nurture, we protect. That's our whole job. And it's not enough to just do it for my daughters. It is for, oh, somebody, I appreciate the content. I have these conversations almost every day. Good. Let's join. Let's link up. DM me. Thank you. Welcome. We need more of us and we need more of our voices. Y'all know we need Black women's voices out here more than ever. I don't care what you have to say. If you have guidance or wisdom, please put it out here. Please put it out here. We need it. Oh, let me see. Somebody just said, did you see the supposed EO for truck drivers in America? Is this? I hate it too. And I hate to even say hate. I was brought up to not ever use that word. Seriously, like you could have caught a backhand in my house growing up if you came out talking about HATE, if you came out calling people dumb or stupid. To this day, it took a lot of courage. Hello, is that Linus? Was that Linus? You flashed up there. Yes, there she is. Hello. You all follow Linus, another queen. And we're talking, Linus, we're talking a little bit. I'm talking about a lot of things. This is Rebuke and Reclaim Monday. And I'm talking about what were the stories that we were talking about last week and the narratives, what we learned from them, what grossed us out, and what we're rebuking and leaving behind. And thank you for sharing out the live. Y'all, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, y'all, thank you so much for the hearts too. Oh God, we might get to 15,000. Thank you all so much. I'm so happy to be going live again. And I just want to share something I'm grateful for. And as I share a little bit of gratitude, let's take this moment. If you have not done your gratitude practice for the day, let's take the time to do it. Y'all, I'm Halicue. The name of my podcast is the Hey, It's Halicue podcast. You can find it any place you listen to podcasts. If you like to listen to my face, go on over to the tube that is you and follow me over there. The podcast lives on Substack. That is where I'm building a community for Black women in the 92%. And I'm so happy you're here today. I wanted an excuse to come to us on a Monday. And so I decided this is a good time. Oh, thank you so much. Y'all, please follow Linda. She's one of my faves. She's another mutual from the Clubhouse days. One of the first times I ever realized, oh, I'm a yapper and I'm a content creator. And Clubhouse was wonderful because it helped us get into dialogue with other brilliant Black women. So she's wonderful, amazing. And now she is establishing some real estate. Oh, hey, Silvana, how are you? Welcome. Good morning. Oh my God, all we need is Cap in here. Like the whole crew is like, oh no, whole crew's here. Welcome to Rebuke and Reclaim. So what have we rebuked? We have rebuked already the Dear Future Wifey podcast and the idea that Black women have to inhale suffering and gaslighting and self-erasure just to earn some title of wife. We do not have to suffer our way into love. We rebuke the spirit of Shannon Sharpe and any lingering whisper that women of a certain age, women of age and maturity and wisdom are better. We're not. We're just precise. We're just wise. We see patterns and we offer protection to the new generation of beautiful Black women of the 92% that are coming up behind us. Okay. And finally, I would like to rebuke the spirit of the NFL draft and little Shadeur Sanders. I have Black athletes in my home. I my daughters are soccer players. I have one that plays for her university. Go Mammoths. She's on her study abroad in London. I'm just back from seeing her. Her little sister, who is equally a beautiful and brilliant player, had ACL surgery a few months ago, so she's on the road to recovery. So I know. Thank you. Thank you, Savannah. Savannah's like, her wardrobe needs upgrading. She hasn't had any. She needs a little. And Savannah, you know what you just did? You just gave me a crown. And let me pass that crown on to every Black woman that is listening and is following. Here is your crown this morning. Good morning. Thank you, Savannah. Thank you. That is what we are here for. I'm a little emotional. I miss y'all. Okay. I'm a little emotional. I miss y'all. Thank you so much. Like, there's nothing more wonderful than being in the community with Black women. But I wanted to talk about the NFL draft because I kept wondering, I don't have boys. My family, I'm the oldest girl. So y'all know how when you're the oldest of a big family, like at first it was just me and my sister Andy, my mom's first marriage. Divorced. Oh, thank God. She was a single mom for a long time. She's this brilliant career woman. She met my stepfather, who was a saint. And so that union brought us my stepsister, Nikki. So then it became three girls and Nikki moved in with us. We all lived together in Mississippi. And then mom and dad are so damn in love. And since they were going for a boy, they decided to go for it. And we had triplets. So I have triplet sisters, Caitlin, Megan, and Kayla. So three more girls. So I don't know nothing. And I was like a ballerina and a Jane Austen nerd. My younger sisters played soccer, but I ain't know nothing about sports really until my triplet sister started playing soccer. And since my mom had them in soccer, I was like, oh well, okay, it's real hard to get into college. Like, I don't think my husband is an athlete, so he was a D1 athlete. We met at Dartmouth. He's a runner. He ran cross country and he ran the 400 and the 800. Is that right? The 400 and the 800, the mile, and then he did the steeplechase. And so my daughters are very athletic. And so I thought, oh, I'll put them into soccer. It's hard to get into college. So maybe that'll help. Turns out they took very much after their dads. Oh, Allison, thank you so much. I know Allison has a son. Allison, please chime in on this. And Allison's from down south. So I don't know about the NFL, but I know about competitive and elite sports and about how racist they are to our kids and how everybody wants to paint our kids with a story, and that these people think that, they just assume that if we're brown and we're showing up that we are the scholarship kids, that there's not two parents in the house. They assume that every black mom is the mom of every other black child they see, especially in a town where it's not that many black people. Like, I be going to basketball games, y'all. I don't have sons, and people are like, Halicue, your boy's looking great tonight. And I'm like, I don't have sons. I only have daughters, but okay. I guess they brown and they got curly hair. They must be my son. Thank you. So I know a little bit of, the NFL hated his confidence in himself, because not only do they hate you and not only do they talk down and hate on our kids that do come from desperate circumstances, that are trying to use their sport and their physical talent as a way to lift themselves out of poverty. Now, we're going to talk about how they take that wealth and they transfer it to white people. We can talk about that later. We can absolutely talk about that. We can talk about that later, because that's exactly what happened with y'all's boy, Shannon Sharpe. Basically, it is going to end up being this massive transfer of wealth from his own black daughters, from his own black family, from what he could do for his own lineage and his own ancestry, and hand it to some girl because of his lack of discipline and his proclivities. So we can talk about that later. But right now, we're talking about what they try to do to our children who come from, who come from having strong father figures. It made me feel like, I was like, oh, so we see right now what the NFL does not want is young black men that come from homes with a strong father who has passed down the knowledge the way they pass down. And by the way, y'all should know that I do not have a problem with black nepotism. I ain't got no problems with black nepotism at all. And what we saw there was what they don't want. Yes, everyone always saw my son's size and always tried to only see him as, yeah, as the boy for sports. Like, we're not multidimensional. They'll say the craziest things to you. My daughter is like, she runs track and she plays soccer. They will say, I don't think she minds me talking about this. Like, in general, I try to keep the girls out of it. They'll talk to you like, they'll say, oh, your daughter's like, she's just like, they can't say something like she's poetry in motion. What they're trying to say is she's unbelievably graceful and poetry in motion. They always got to like animalize it. It's like, she's like a cheetah. She's like a gazelle. It's got to be, and I'm like, all y'all got to say is she's unbelievably graceful and fast, but you don't know how to say that. Or they talk about her, they'll talk about their raw athleticism versus the fact that no, she's actually brilliant on the field. I'm convinced that's why my younger daughter wanted to be a midfielder. Like, it's like, you're very strategic, you're distributing the ball, you've got to see angles and all these things. I'm convinced that's why she wanted to do that instead of being the more flashy, showy forward that the oldest daughter was. So never their brains or creativity, right, or how smart they are. And y'all know my dumb ass, because I grew up as a nerd. I was not some athlete out there. My husband was the first one that clocked it. Like, some dad or something said something to him, and I could tell. I was like, what's wrong? We won the game. She got a hat trick. Like, why are you mad? And he got in the car. He was like, nope, this is exactly what happens. This is what they say about black quarterbacks. This is what they say. Everybody only wants to talk about her raw physical strength and not about how smart she was or how smart that pass was or da 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 da. He was the one that had to tell me that, because I had no idea, because I didn't watch all that. But we rebuked the NFL draft in this relentless attempt to humble and humiliate our brilliant, confident sons and daughters. Okay? So we let that go. It was awful. I hated that. I hated that for that young man because there's nothing like it. I'm a Leo, so I feel this very strongly. There's nothing like when you know you're right. You know you've done the work. You've been told your whole life, shoulders back. What I tell my daughters, shoulders back, head up. And in the sports game, I actually told my daughter this, like, when she got off to college, she was recruited, it was wonderful, and when I really had some reflections on what I had been like as a soccer mom, and I told her, I said, "If I have ever told." Y'all forgive me just for. I said, "If mommy ever told you to make yourself smaller, to make your if I ever told you to make yourself smaller, to be something different, to not shine as bright, to not be yourself," because she's a little Libra and she has this, she's she was so fun loving and she was just a little goofball and she was like a little show off and a goofball and I know there were times I was like, "Zip it up, get it together. Don't let these little, don't let these white girls like have you out here looking like." And I told her, I said, "If there was ever a time, y'all forgive me for being emotional. If I told her, I said, if there was ever a time I told you to be different than who you are, to not be your full self, to not let your full personality shine through. I am so sorry. I take it back. I didn't know any better. I was like, mommy's deconstructing from things herself. Thank you for saying that. Thank you." And she's already told me, "Mommy, stop. Da, 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 da." And I was like, if I ever told you that, mommy is so sorry. I was like, "Mommy was wrong. Thank you for the hug." Thank you. I was like, I take it back. So I really, really, really felt something watching what that young man was going through this weekend because he is, I don't know if y'all have seen him. And like, thank you all. Thank you all so much. Everything about that young man gave Prince of Zamunda, like he's just so beautiful and golden in his smile. Like, I hope it is an example to so many fathers. Like, I don't care like what happens when you shine your light on your son, like you will end up making a prince out of him. You yourself become a king and he himself becomes a prince. It's too bad that more men, I think, aren't aware of that, but I know what it's like to have a child that is talented, it is golden, they have personality, like, they have taken your wisdom and they believe it. Like, my husband always says, him and another friend of his, another soccer dad, always said, "You can tell an athlete. You can tell by the way they walk, by the way they carry themselves." That's why, oh, thank you so much. They said, "You can tell." And when I look at my daughters, is true. You can tell. I can look at other, I'm like, that's a dancer, or that's an athlete, or that's a kid that's a debater. Like they know how to talk and get in. So the way, and you could tell that that young man believed, and I tell my husband this still. Thank you all for letting me share this and letting me play with this idea of rebuke and reclaim. Thank you all so much for this and for sharing this with me. Oh, and thank you for the puppy heart. Thank you. Um, when there is nothing more wonderful when your children, thank you. Oh, y'all, thank you so much. Then when your children listen to your guidance, they listen to it and they live in it and they believe you. And then they finally start realizing, like, oh, mommy, daddy was right. I should walk around with my chest out. I should start every day. Like, and that's another wonderful thing about athletics too. It teaches our children that we're gonna have you get defeated and then you shake it off. You have to let that go and rebuke and reclaim. We have to leave some that game happened. That's over. It's time to start over. And you can tell. Thank you guys so much and encouraging people. Thank you, Ralph. When I'm talking about our children, I think I glow a little bit more. And talking about this and talking about Shadeur and talking about this, oh, I was like, they really tried to break that young man. And then they had people prank calling that boy. They got that number, the violation of that. If y'all knew what it's like, even when you have resources, even when your kid doesn't need some full ride. My daughter went to a NESCAC school, so she went to the New England small colleges and university schools. So it's different. You don't get a full ride. Like any kid that needs financial aid, you just get like you get, and they don't even make you take loans anymore in some of these schools. Like if you have financial need, you just get the aid and they don't give you like, so I guess you could call it a full ride, but the Ivy League, like Dartmouth, like where I went to school, if you ever hear somebody say they got a full ride to Harvard, that's not the way it works. You don't get a scholarship to Harvard. Like if you, or to Princeton or to Yale or to Dartmouth or Columbia or Cornell, like that's not the way it works. If your family has need, your kid just gets the aid. And now they don't even have to take out loans or anything. Like you don't even have to do that. Like, and tuition is a part of it. If we're talking about the Ivies or the NESCAC school, so it's not you just so it's not a full ride. So we didn't need the money. Like we didn't need the money. We've been blessed. Thank you. I'm a Black woman that owns her own land, owns her own home. We've been very blessed. But those children have worked so hard. They have given up so much. Like, yes, these football players may walk around like young gods, but they have given up so much. Y'all ever seen their feet? Have y'all ever seen these blood blisters we have to crack and pop? The way they have to. My daughter has had to run races and be at track meets. And y'all ever been to a track meet? I'm a track meet mom. I love, I love the track. They be out there in the 105, 106, 107-degree weather. And it's wonderful because there's old Black women like keeping them lined up. They have to keep them quiet and lined up. At the same time, the kids got to be ready to go, but they're also sitting next to kids they ain't never met before. They're coming from all over. They can't go to things. They can't go to quinceañeras. They can't go to bar mitzvahs. They can't go to slumber parties and some stuff because they've got games and stuff. So no matter how wealthy and how privileged that boy is, like he has, and he's not a boy, he's a young man. But when I see him, I see my nephews, I see my cousins. They have given up so much. And then to play with that young man like that, they talk so much mess about us when we come from broken homes, when these broken homes are they're still the after effects of slavery and the broken home and the way just the marital contract and what that was, systems that were never made for us, but that we had to at the same time aspire to, but they kept from us. And then when we got the way they perpetrated their perversions on us, so now we've got all this fetishization that happens between certain groups, like that we're still that we're still working through and trying to work through. So here comes a young man, a prince, talented, from parents that apparently figured out how to co-parent him to a point where he could at least achieve this level of success, close relationship with the father, close, just like this. Don't make no move without the wisdom of the father, and walks around proud. A young man that has clearly been taught to carry his throne in the seat of his pants. Has clearly been taught that. That's what I try to teach my daughters. You're a queen. Where's your throne? Right here. Where's your crown? Right here. This is it. That's it. You wake up with it every morning. You may wake up with it like that, but you can zhuzh it and lift it and pop it and chop it and screw it. There it is. And the agony that you're in at all of these, all I know is girls elite soccer, the showcases, the traveling. You can't go home for Christmas. You can't have normal Thanksgiving dinners because you're a surf cup. If you have younger children, you've lost your child on, your younger child can't do anything because the whole family's here. And then when it comes time for recruitment, the spreadsheets, the letters, you want them to do it themselves and handle it themselves and getting them ready for interviews. And then finally the day comes and it happens and you've been preparing for them to receive the benefit of all this luck. And somebody's kid finagles and gets the number and is crank calling him when he's sitting here like tenterhooks, already disappointed and upset and really for all that for all that we're able to give our children, those of us that are well resourced, we still can't protect them from racism like that, from that kind of agony on a worldwide stage when all they've ever done is done what we taught them to do. Walk with your shoulders back, your chin up, be proud. Because whatever we do give them, the truth of the matter is what they accomplish out on that pitch or out on that field is theirs. I cannot believe I'm out. lecturing about sports, but they hurt my spirit. That hurt my spirit. And I know what I do know. I have to look up that young man's astrology. I don't know if anybody knows his astrology. I would love to know what it is. I would love to know what it is. But um he is going to show them better than he can tell them. There are going to be a lot of people that are very, very, very sorry about the way they treated that young man, because when they did that to him, I swear I feel like they did that to every single sports parent that was out there. But what else is this an example of? Rebuking and reclaiming. Like I promise you, that young man has left that behind. We can't do anything without judgment. We can't even get out of vampires in peace. No, we cannot. That's another thing. I can't even believe that. Like, this is because there was a Latino creator that got on here and was like mad at Ryan Coogler for not including Latin people. You included Asian people. You're like, seriously, sir? It wasn't, but how many people even made it out? Was was Preacher Boy the only one that made it out? Like, you're right, we can't even do that in peace. This young man has done all this and can't even get recruited in peace. Like, can't even be recruited in peace. So we are rebuking that. We are rebuking the NFL draft, and they're this again. It's a relentless attempt to humble and humiliate our brilliant, confident sons and daughters. We honor the fullness of their excellence, their shine, their divine birthright to walk in pride. Okay. And so I want to, those are the three things that we're leaving into last week. And for everybody, oh my gosh, there's still a lot of people. Y'all, welcome. I'm Halicue. I am a thought leader and a content creator for Black women of the 92%. I am the creator and the host of the Hey, It's Halicue podcast, first and only podcast created by a Black woman of the 92% for Black women of the 92%. And this is my new Monday morning offering to my community and those people that consider themselves our accomplices. Welcome. I'm calling it Rebuke and Reclaim, stuff that we're leaving in the past, the internet stories, the mess. Hopefully we learned something from them. Okay. But we're leaving them behind and we're opening ourselves up for a new week. Okay. We're reclaiming our peace, our authority, our freedom to walk boldly and to love loudly and to create wildly, Black women. Okay. Ashe. 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 Oh, y'all make me very happy. I'm so happy to be in community with Black women. I cannot tell you. And when we call ourselves Black women of the 92%, that moniker, that number, the more I say it, the more I am in community and share collective consciousness with Black women. Many of you here today giving me that energy and those hearts. Thank you all so much. When I say that, we're reclaiming our role as architects of our own future, Black women. Because I have to tell you, we have been carrying so many burdens willingly, giving so much of our energy and our labor away. We get to chart our own future. We get to be sovereign. We get to be unbothered. We get to be happy. Okay? So I may put up this live. I don't know. But I want us to put some words and some energy. Somebody just said ashe, which means like life force energy. It means the source of everything that is, where we all come from, and it all going back. It refers to the life force energy that is around each one of us individually and what we tap into as a collective web and hold. And because it's a word that's connected to many African traditional religions and spiritual practices, I'm gonna leave it right there because y'all don't need to know everything. If this is it's these are ancestral practices. Very many of them are gate kept for very good reason. And so this is the door. This is if we consider the vampires out there, this is the door and the portal. This is me talking to you and communicating, letting you know what that is and why it moves me so much when somebody says it, because it connects to me and my people and where I'm from, but also letting you know, and that's enough. And don't be asking me any more questions about it. Don't be asking me any more questions about it unless you yourself are from our tradition, from our ancestry, and from our spiritual practices. So I just want to put some words of strength behind, and I'm just going to move this here so I can see it because I want to put some words of strength behind what we're just talking about, because I feel called to do so. Okay. Oh, so y'all may want to press screen record if you want to. I rebuke, say this with me, and if you're a Black woman, the 92%, I send this out to you. Okay. I rebuke what, and this is based on everything we just talked about, everything that we're rebuking and leaving behind. Okay. I rebuke what seeks to shrink me. I reclaim the fire that is internal in me and that fuels me. I rebuke the old lies that have been told about us as Black people and specifically us as Black women. I reclaim our birthright to joy, power, and liberation and freedom. I rebuke these false burdens. People have us carrying burdens that aren't even ours, that are theirs, that are their mess, have nothing to do with us, that's their own stuff. We reclaim our destinies. We rebuke the noise, especially a lot of the toxic patriarchal noise that comes out of so many podcasts. We need to stop selling men podcasts. I know there are men podcast mics. I know there's men in here. Man, y'all been dispersing a lot of nastiness with y'all's access to media lately. Okay. And we rebuke that. We rebuke that noise. We reclaim our own personal visions as Black women. Okay. Ooh, this has been wonderful. I've enjoyed rebuking and reclaiming. Like rebuking and reclaiming today, okay? And this has just been a little sisterhood time and community with each other. TikTok doesn't like us to drink or anything like this. I feel like, why can't TikTok let me have my coffee? I like, I don't know like what the problem is. Like, no other platform has a problem with us drinking. And I'm like, thirsty. Okay. So, y'all, there's a new episode of the podcast. It's dropping this Thursday. It's about the 92% and Black women being storm riders. Because, y'all, a storm is coming. We have an idiot in charge of the nation. Y'all have a bewigged, spray painted stunt queen that's attempting to run the country. And he is now effing up the money. He has effed up the church's money. So we got a little bit of a financial storm that we're going to ride. Oh, by the way, somebody else said this. Looking forward to listening to your podcast. Thank you so much. Y'all go listen to the old episodes. Y'all made the last episode, the authenticity assignment, our most downloaded. The minute I saw like 1K plus downloads, like I was like, we were a little small and mighty podcast, but y'all are. Thank you. Go listen to the podcast. Go listen to all the old episodes. I've been traveling. I'm back. And this is about Black women being the original storm riders. Okay. Because that is what Black women do. We ride the storm. We don't panic. Okay. We never slip. We never fall. A lot of hoes give us their number, but we never. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Throw Some D's on it from Abbott Elementary. She's one of my favorite characters on TV. Because that's what Black women do. So, thank you. Who gave me that? Who gave me that? Oh, Erin Ashley, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I love the dolphin. Thank you. Y'all, thank you so much. I'm so glad I did this. We're going to do this every Monday. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with us. Listen, so we have a storm we have to ride out. Okay? That's what Black women do. We don't just like react. We strategize, okay? We put blessing on our names, on our futures, and we make a way out of no way. That's why we really shouldn't be afraid. We've been making a way out of no way for a long time. And now a lot of us have a way. A lot of us have resources. If we don't have access to generational wealth, we're building it for ourselves. We're the most educated demographic. We're the most entrepreneurial demographic. Okay. We are also tapped into the collective consciousness of other Black women. The 92%, that really is that just is what we are. To me, it kind of represents the best of Black women when we act together in pursuit of something important. Okay. Y'all know I travel with this. I travel with this the same way I travel with my passport and a copy of my driver's license. This is exit polling data. The 92%, that represents us as Black women getting an A when we get a pop quiz, when we have a test. That's what it is. The 92% was Black women defending our dissertation. This was us saying, okay, we have a very important decision to make. We are a world's power. And it is time for us to make a decision about charting the forward course of this nation that has never done a damn thing for us. Okay? That has always put us last. When it was time for women's suffrages, us last. White women first, then us. Whenever it was time to be able to vote, white men first, and then, oh, okay, we'll let black men, like, and then maybe we'll let white women, and then y'all. Yet we are the bedrock of progressive politics. Okay, for as much as the leftists want to say what they want to say, black women are the bedrock of progressive politics. Okay, in this country, that's the truth. How do I know this? This right here. That's us. That's us. We're one of the only people that can be trusted in this country to make damn good decisions. Us. That's it. According to this, according to the data, my friend Q, who's a data queen. Okay. Seriously. So that's who the 92% is. That's who we are. That's what my podcast is for. We are basically the collective consciousness of black women. And we are at a position now, and as hurtful as the election was, and it hurts, I swear, I think our collective anger and misery finally broke something open to where we now basically communicate as a collective with each other. We're participating in economic boycotting. We're taking care of ourselves. We're protecting ourselves. We're prioritizing ourselves. We are scrutinizing. We're being really picky about our time and our energy. And we need to start the week off. I mean, technically, calendars and weeks and things like that are just all a construct, but whatever. We live in the world, we live on earth, as deeply spiritual as we are. We got to function here on this rock that's like circling the sun. We here, we got to deal with what we got. But for the first time, a portal has been opened up and we're putting ourselves first. And doing that means that we get to realize all kinds of different aspects of the human experience that society and the Western world has worked very hard, and even some of these spiritual systems y'all got out there have worked very hard to suppress in us, or to siphon off of us, or to suck out of us. Again, the brilliance of making Sinners a vampire movie. Okay? Seriously. With a beautiful black woman who is deeply connected to her ancestral wisdom and roots and spirituality, who basically saved everybody. And thank you for that beautiful headband. That was so beautiful. That made me so happy. And thank you all for following and sharing out the lives. Okay. So that's what this week's podcast is about. It's about us riding out the storm. Okay. Black women riding out the storm. And I have some strategies for us. I have a little grounding exercise for us. Y'all, please catch up on the old episodes. Please subscribe to the Hey It's Halicue podcast over on Substack. Y'all go listen to it. Enjoy it this week. It is just basically, hey, Mac, thank y'all for coming in and getting your daily heartbeat. It's basically my love letter to black women. And you know what? I want to share a gratitude. Okay, so I was just given a crown, and I passed that crown on to every black woman that is listening and looking and is within the sound of my voice. Y'all, the gifts and stuff are super nice, like that y'all give us, and the taps and the hearts. Like, to me, it really is energy, because this really is a portal and I really do feel connected to you. But every time y'all do that, it literally is a gift. Like, it's a gift. And I feel like it's my job to say thank you. I'm so grateful, and to pass it along to every other black woman. And to every other black woman of the 92%, I want you to hear me. Y'all know every night, my nightly prayer is that one other black woman gets delivered from the grind of doing something she doesn't want to have to do with her day, whether it is a corporate job, whether it's a relationship. Um, I pray for our deliverance, and I pass that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gift on. And Q is still here. Yay! Y'all, please go follow Q. She's doing some very exciting things. She's always doing something exciting. Q is like basically a taste maker in Dallas, Texas. So y'all, please, please, please follow her. Y'all, this has been so wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for joining our community over on Substack. Thank you for listening to the podcast wherever you like listening to it. Y'all are this close to getting us to like 500 subscribers over on YouTube. Thank you. It has been very challenging creating a YouTube channel. Like, but again, when you work for Black women, and that's what I consider myself. I consider myself a thought leader and a content creator for Black women in the 90%. I work for y'all. It is my job to make you feel the way I hope I make my daughters feel loved, appreciated, the way I make my sisters feel. I have basically 6 sisters, including my cousin Tracy, that was brought up with me. I love you. I would not want to be anything else other than a Black woman. After seeing Sinners, Lord have mercy. I've always been proud of and claimed Mississippi. I ain't never been more grateful in my life to come from Mississippi. In my life. I am so grateful for how far we have come. I am sorry for what our ancestors endured. Thank you all for getting your daily heart meat. It really is a multivitamin for Black girls. I'm telling you. I'm even grateful for the white women in my life because the white women in my life really had to go through something to prove that they were accomplices. Cap, good morning. How are you? Welcome. Thank you. Cap came in and said, hey. Thank you. Seriously, we are going to ride out this week like the daughters of our own beautiful Black revolution that we actually are. 92%, this is our time. Black women, this is our time. It really is. It's important for us to talk about these awful issues, a lot of which that I went over because y'all, the Rebuke and Reclaim, this is where we review all the BS and the mess from the week before. We say goodbye to it. We extract the lesson, we incorporate the lesson, and then we cleanse and we prepare ourselves for the next week. And that's what we did this week. I may put this live up. I really enjoyed this live. So you all, again, thank you for listening to the podcast. It's called Hey, It's Halicue. Go to wherever you listen to podcasts and type in Halicue. It's going to come up. And thank you all for making the last episode our most downloaded episode. Y'all put some K's up there. Like, what even is that? Oh my God. Y'all are so generous. Can I tell you? Okay. And can I also, I've been trying to say this 3 times. I wanted to share something I was grateful for. Oh, my college roommate at Grambling. I had one of my cousins. Oh, you went to Grambling? Oh my goodness, for real. Was a Southern Black beauty queen from Jackson, Mississippi. You know, my dad, one of my stepmamas was Miss Jackson State. My dad was a Rolling Stone, but man, he gave me a beautiful selection of brilliant, beautiful stepmoms. I'll tell you that. That's one thing I'll say for my dad. He enjoyed being married. And man, he picks him, and Jackson State graduated some bad ones, boy. Bad. My dad's side of the family went to Jackson State. So the Gambrels went to Jackson State, and the Jones Lenores, my mother's side of the family, went to Alcorn State. So that's where my people hail from. I will never forget. I don't know if I've told y'all this story. So I went to Dartmouth College. I was trying to run very far away from home, but my sister Nikki went to Alcorn, and Nikki's classes started before my classes started. So we went to go drop Nikki off at Alcorn. And when I tell you, for the 2 hours it took us to drop Nikki off, I was the men that walked past me, like, you know how like just brothers just smell good? Like it just, oh, like I just remember thinking like, School Days had just come out. Like, I remember thinking, "I've made a huge mistake." I was like, "Maybe I've made like, I have made a very huge mistake." Everything ended up working out. Hey, Mark goes digital. Yes, HBCUs. And you know what we did at what everybody at Dartmouth did? Like, so many, because my experience at Dartmouth was very Black. Like, I hardly remember any, like, other than like my husband, like I don't really remember anybody that like wasn't Black at Dartmouth. But what we really tried to do, because so many of us that were the Black students that were there, we gave up our opportunity to go to HBCUs. Like, it was truly a sacrifice. Like, you really sacrifice something to go to these PYIs. But what we always did, everybody, like what I did, one of my sorority sisters, my line sister, actually, Kisha, she did a semester at Howard, and I got an internship at Skadnar's Cap. Thank you. I feel like it's just I love that thing because it's like a kiss. She went to Howard. I got an internship at Skadden Arps. And so I like lived with her on campus at Howard so she went to school. I had an internship, but we still got to have our experience. So you would try really hard to at least do a semester and stay as long as you could at like HBCU. And again, while I was there the whole time, like, I was like, okay, I guess I made the damn decision that I made, but woo, I hope my children make like a different decision or to remember um just what an awesome opportunity it was. There was nothing quite as beautiful as Howard and Grambling. Oh my God. In my heart of hearts, I'm a majorette. I wish I could have. Woo! That's why I love Beyonce's Homecoming so much because I was like, yeah, Beyonce's one of them girl that didn't, one of them black women that didn't get an opportunity. Beyonce said, not only am I a majorette, I am also the homecoming queen. I am also. I love that she gave because I also felt like that was her giving us the gift of being that, of having touching that experience because there's nothing like it. Like the band at Jackson State's called Sonic Boom, like, and you really feel a sonic, like you really feel like a sonic boom. Now I know no shade to Grambling, obviously. Actually, one of my little cousins was on the drum line at Grambling. My cousins Gregory and Gerard. Actually, they were drummers in our family. All right, I love y'all. I better roll out. Thank y'all for rocking with me for Rebuke and Reclaim. Do y'all want to do it again every Monday? I hope y'all do. Because like I really loved it. Because there's always mess we need. Kat, thank you. I'm gonna take that as a yes. If Cap says we doing it, we doing it. Okay. If Q, Kat, D, y'all know who y'all are. If y'all say we doing it, we doing it. If y'all like it, I'm here. I'm here for it. And y'all also help me be accountable with leaving mess behind because also like black women we haven't always been taught how to take the anxiety, take the stress, take the anger, the righteous anger, because I've gotten real angry at having my accounts messed with. I don't like having my portfolio messed with at all. I've been able to manage my anger very well for a while, but this last time I was like, I've been overseas and you just be, when you have to go back and be looking at your children's college funds and stuff, like I got very angry and I also got tapped in to the news cycle more than I normally would because I was away. And I had European people asking me what the hell is going on in my country in a way that got me very angry because I was like, Black women, this is not our fault. We don't know what's wrong with them except racism, ignorance, stupidity, and greed and avarice. That's the best I can give you. People who have always had the deck stacked for them feel like the world's biggest victims because they're realizing that this white supremacy stuff was a lie. I was like, I don't know what else to tell you is wrong with America. Can I tell you it is cosmically unfair for a black woman to have to answer these questions? But I take that as just a confirmation that, like, yeah, black women are the truth tellers. All the things I talk about on the podcast, black women being truth tellers. This being the time for black women to reinvest and put all of the chips down for us. Because trying to drag the rest of this country to progress and freedom and liberation and equity and equality hasn't been working, putting everybody else first instead of us. So we putting ourselves first. And let's see where we end up there. Let's try that. That seems to be everything that the universe is telling black women that we need to do. Thank you for the hearts. It lets me know y'all feeling what I'm picking. Y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. So that's what we're doing. That's what the 92% is a new political strategy, is a new way forward for black women. It is a movement. It is a rebellion. Hey, Lane July. Again, hello. Thank you for the rose again. Oh, and everyone would be happy to know, black women, I hope and it's a lesson of Meghan Markle. We need to be taking care of ourselves out in the world and within our own homes. My garden is starting this week. Okay, we're going to be planting the garden. And even though the money's acting funny, I'm so mad at this man. I'm so mad for him effing up the money. Because, y'all finally, black women, we get our educations, we excel in these jobs, we save. This is just another reminder to just be smart, save our resources, be real picky, be picky AF about what we spend, where we spend it. I think that's why we're getting all this information about like the luxury goods market and really helping us focus in. Think about it this way. I feel like that's one of the things I have to say. I feel like the situation with the markets and China and tariffs and all that, and China getting on here and telling y'all the truth about our Vuitton and people's Hermes. Like, I'm really not much of a brand girly. I'm kind of like Coach loyal. I love vintage Coach bags. That's one of the things I've been kind of indulging in. If I must have some new bag, if I must have some piece of candy, it's going to be Coach and it's going to be vintage. Because y'all, As a mom, have I told y'all this? I saw what did I see? Like when I saw one of my Coach bags that I used to rock, like one of the first Coach bags I bought from a Coach outlet, I passed it down to my eldest daughter, who then passed it down to my youngest daughter. And she brought it to London. I think she brought it to London. I don't know where it was, but I saw it on her arm and I was like something told me, yeah, that's my goal. I'm gonna that's where I'll enjoy like spending. Oh, thank you. I love a hat. I do. I love a hat to cover up my gigantic A head. Thank you for that. Like, so I've decided that's how I think that one of the reasons we got to see that with China, because Black women and Black people, we kind of over consume. I think it took something like this and our eyes being lifted, like, wait, you make this bag where? It costs how much for real? Like, what? Like, huh? Like, I think that was good for us. What it did was, and the way I describe it is like, when you go to the eye doctor, like you go to the optometrist and they put that thing in front of you and they put the thing and they start flipping the different lenses and they start asking you one or two, one A or B. And the whole time I'm like, Doc, I can't even see what you're talking about. But how gradually, if they work with us, things get clearer. Finally, they get the right combination of the lenses and you can see things clearly. That's what all of these things that have been happening are to us as Black people and especially as Black women, I think personally. And so we're here. We're a movement. Do y'all know I talked about the podcast to the president of Lisbon? My husband knew him from business school. He welcomed us into the office. It was very nice. He's a great man. I think he's going to end up being either the president or the prime minister of Portugal. He's a wonderful man. And he was like, "Now tell me what you do." And I was like, "Well, I was like, okay, I'm a podcaster and it is very political and it's very Black and it's about Black women and about our anger because he was like, "What is going on with your like, he's like, the Europeans were very confused about this, what's happening, and da da da." And I was like, "Yeah, I was like, yeah, it's kind of political, it's kind of radical. It's a new way forward and a new way of, Black women getting together, talking about our collective strength, how we want to organize, how we want to care for ourselves and build from, like from the grassroots and bottoms up, taking care of ourselves first in order to move forward." And carrying this country along in a different way because clearly it's going to be we're kind of the country's superpowers, the untapped natural resource that they keep trying to keep us lowered and anxious and sick and poor more than anyone else, so we're not doing that anymore. And that's what the podcast is about. I want to listen to it. And I'm like, I know, because we're amazing people. And one of the things I talk about in the podcast coming up this week, this Thursday, y'all be looking forward to drop, is about Black women being basically America's early warning system. Like if this country was a whole entity, like a living thing, its intuition would be Black women, which is basically, again, as women and certainly just as people and as a group, I truly feel like we're this country's early warning system. And I think people are going to start listening to us. They need to destroy themselves first, but that's okay. We're taking care of ourselves while everybody else drives off of a cliff. That's what we're doing. And I promise you it's going to be good for this nation. I promise you. All right. I love y'all. This has been a wonderful conversation. Thank you for joining me for Rebuke and Reclaim. It's a live, one of the live ways you get to experience the Hey, It's Halicue podcast. Thank you all for joining me wherever you join me from. This has been a wonderful conversation. Y'all even made me cry a couple of times. I'm going to post this up for in case people want to experience it again. It's going to go up lots of different places. It's going to go up on the YouTube channel. It's going to go up on Substack. I'll post it here on TikTok. To everyone that was so generous, thank you so very much. Next time we're going to reach that goal and I'll do a little read. Wait, did we beat our goal? Did we? No, we did not. But next time when we get there, I've got something really fun for us that I want to share with us. All right. I love y'all. To the beautiful, the brilliant, the bold Black women of the 92%. As y'all know, all the love in my heart. And to everyone else, oh, and to our accomplices, those that rock with us, Cap, thank you. Cap just y'all keep my batteries so energized. Thank you to everybody that was so generous. Y'all, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back. And I never got to say what I was super grateful for. I am so grateful to have my privacy back. When you travel, especially when you travel in, hey, Dunkin' Nuts, hey, when you travel, especially with your family, it's just hard to be private. And the kind of hotels, my husband plans all the trips, and he knows I love a boutique hotel. So boutique hotels, even if they're 5-star, they don't have lots of private rooms and places and conference rooms and stuff. So it's hard to find time for me to set all this stuff up and to, be able to go live whenever I want to. Also, when I'm on vacation, my husband especially really wants for me to be on vacation and to be present, which is a blessing, and that's wonderful. And I love you, baby. I love you so much. But since I'm a creator, all I want to do, and I'm a digital creator, I'm a digital priestess. All I want to do is be on here talking with like Black women. So it's challenging to, like one of the things I really missed was like, I just want to be able to go into this is the Gilded Absolute World headquarters. It's my office. Like, I close the door. Everybody knows when that door is closed. One of my daughters made me this really pretty little sign and it says mommy's working right now. So like everybody knows the door is closed, like don't bother me. But you can't do that when you're right? Like you can't do that when you're traveling. So I am so grateful to be back in my own home that I, as a Black woman, own. I am so grateful. And I'm so grateful to be back. And I'm grateful to have enough privacy and a room of my own to close the damn door and to create and to connect with Black women. So I love y'all. I'm going to go eat something now. I manage the freaking intermittent fasting. Hallelujah. Because I have been eating a lot over the past month and I have not been dancing the way I'm supposed to dance. Oh, by the way, there's some new information out from Harvard about how good dancing is for you. Black women dance, put on some music, twerk, shake your root chakra. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. That's a real thing. Okay. Maybe I'll share it on stories. All right. I love y'all. Again, all the love in my heart to the beautiful, bold Black women at the 19%, and to everybody that rocks with us. Get over to Substack, join our community, listen to the Hey, It's Halicue podcast, any place you listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe over on Substack if you are not a Black woman of the 92%, but you rock with us and you rock with our rest and you want to do something, go support the podcast, become a paid subscriber. Invite your friends to do it. This is a way to do it. I get that everybody is not a leader. Everybody is not a content creator. Everybody's not a thought leader. Everybody's not the idea person, but you want to support. Give you money. That's what I do. I'm not a politician, but I know the ones I want to support, they get the check because they're doing the work. Jasmine Crockett gets my money. Okay. She doesn't even represent me or my district, but she represents Black women. And I say, thank you for doing what you've done. And I write a check. So that's what you do. Okay. that's what we do. So if you want to make the world a better place, support Black women. Support us. It only makes things better. And if you don't want to support me, it's tons of Black women over on Substack doing amazing things. Buy Black women's products, promote their businesses. Okay. Like do that. That's something you can do. So if you're a beautiful Black woman in 92%, all the love in my heart. If you rock with us, all the love in my heart. To everybody else, I invite you, I command you to have the day that you voted for. I love you. I'm Halicue from the Hey, It's Halicue podcast. I love you so much. Thank you for rebuking and reclaiming with me. Y'all will see me in not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. And get ready for the podcast. Brand new episode dropping on Thursday about Black women riding the storm. Riding the storm, because that's what we're going to do. We're not getting drowned in a storm. We're riding out the storm. We're the originals. We don't slip. We don't fall. We don't react. We don't just randomly like react. We respond after we think about it. We plan. We prepare. That's what Black women do. And we gonna ride it. That's exactly what we're gonna do. All right, love y'all. Oh, happy Beyonce, happy Cowboy Carter Day. I cannot wait to see the content. Oh my God, because your girl does not have tickets yet. I don't know how I'm gonna get tickets, but I'm gonna figure something out. Everything is working out for me. All right, I love y'all. Bye, y'all.